the whole time I've been carnivore, I really struggled with fat and hunger and satiation. Um, because of my histamine intolerance, it makes it really hard for me to find foods that work for me. Really, all I can eat at this point, for most of it, was just whole cuts of beef, and the best for me is slow cooked beef roasts. But things like steaks are fine as well. So I tried to do the diet that Michaela Peterson and her father and what's his name, Sean Baker, all do, which they just seem to eat whole cuts of beef. They don't seem to take any additional fat or whatever. I tried it with the fattier cuts of beef, like the ribeyes or Scotch fillets, they call them here, and I can eat, say, kilo to a kilo and a half of these fattier cuts of meat, and I mean, my body just says no, no more beef, or no more protein, no more meat. But I'm still hungry, no matter how much of it I eat. Eventually, I just cannot stomach any more, and my body still wants more. And I figured out eventually that this was my body craving fat over the actual protein or the muscle part of the meat. So for me, I don't know how these guys are doing it just on the whole cuts of beef, but I'm just not, I was just never feeling satisfied, or had never had enough energy, and just was always hungry just eating the whole cuts of beef. So I went on this sort of long journey trying to find fat sources. I've been through everything. Butter doesn't work for me, except butter is the best in terms of taste. I love the taste of it, but I get pretty bad reactions from it. And ghee is disgusting. I can't stand it. I tried plants, so I tried avocados, I tried coconut oil, even olive oil. I tend to get reactions to those. So I went on a mission to find animal fats. So I bought some suet that I made a video about a few days ago. And when I had the suet, it was great. I felt so satisfied, and my energy levels were better, and I believe my mood was a bit better. But the issue with it is that because it's processed, because it's I think they mince it or grind it up, it has high histamine, and I had the worst histamine reaction from it. So I threw out the suet. Eventually, I found it's not the healthiest stuff. I don't think it's called Super Fry. It's this animal. It says blended animal fat. It's just this like 500 gram block of fat, solidified fat. But I looked it up. There's nothing added. There's no deodorization or cleansing process. It's just blended fat. I believe it's probably mainly beef tallow and what do they call it? The pig fat. Can't think of the name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. I have tried that too, the old pig fat. What's the name? Anyway, I didn't like it. I don't really like the smell and the taste of it, but this block of fat that I found, it's only $3 for 500 grams. It works. It doesn't taste bad. It's got a kind of sweet taste to it. Not sure how healthy it is. I mean, it's not grass-fed or anything, but things are way easier now. I just have never really, I mean, I just cook some steak, not even really heaps, put a ton of fat on it, and I feel so satisfied. Energy is better, mood is better, focus is better, skin and just general health is better with this fat, and so much easier to do this diet when I have this fat source. I mean, before it was just hunger all the time and spending so much money on this meat. But yeah, so now it's definitely, I believe, essential to find a good fat source. Ultimately, I want to do grass-fed beef drippings. I think there is somewhere in Brisbane where I live that has it, but it's over the other side, so I have to go check it out. Otherwise, I have ordered some from the internet, but it's fucking $25 for 500 grams, so it's a bit ridiculous. So until then, I'm going to keep with my block of fat, keep eating that with every meal, and I mean, the satiety I experience is fantastic. It's just no cravings, there's no sweet cravings, it's just this beautiful sense of fullness in the stomach, wholeness even, that just just sits there for ages, and then eventually I get hungry and I do it again. So, I mean, that's why I believe that for most people, finding a fat source that's healthy and that you don't react to on the carnivore is essential for it to be successful.